It is currently the day after the 4th of July, so July 5th. And I thought I'd do a quick video showcasing the power of mountain mint in permaculture. As you can see, just this one clump of mountain mint has hundreds, certainly hundreds, potentially thousands, just on this clump of pollinators. I'm not sure if you can hear, there's hummingbirds in the mimosa tree over our head. Got some wasps mating right there. And you can really get in here and get to see them up close when they're working this mountain mint. Most of the bees here you're seeing, the bigger bees, are carpenter bees. Look at that. So this particular mountain mint is clustered mountain mint. Mountain mints as a whole are big time summer favorites for any pollinator, really. But clustered mountain mint at my house seems to be the big favorite, the one, the granddaddy of them all. And as you can see, I'll back up here, this clump is probably about 10 feet long and maybe 6 feet wide. It's on the front section here of one of my pollinator garden beds. I have 2 pollinator garden beds. I planted this clump probably, I guess it's been 3 or 4 years ago now, and this clump is enormous. But what I want to show you is that all my clumps of clustered mountain mint are basically like this. So we're just going to ease around. We're going to come by some other mountain mint right here. So I grow a total of 7 different varieties of mountain mint so far. Beetles, mountain mint, Appalachian, slender, hoary, hairy. Here's more clustered. And as you can see, everywhere where this clustered mountain mint is, it's just covered. Just absolutely covered in pollinators. You got a happy butterfly right there in the middle. See how close I can get. Look at that. Even over here where the clump is kind of has one just random offshoot, you got a bee working on it. And I'm going to walk over to a massive clump of clustered mountain mint in my second major pollinator garden over here. And same story, right? Same song and dance, just absolutely loaded. There's a buckeye there. Ooh, look, we have a great golden digger wasp right here. Kind of fell down through there, didn't he? Look at this. Just let you get right up on them. It's a great golden digger in there again. And this clump here is my largest by a long shot. 14 or 15 feet wide, probably 6 to 8 feet deep. Got to be closer to 8 because it goes all the way back to that, underneath that dogwood tree. Look at it. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this? This is just insane. Up here in the front of my gardens, I'm near a road, so you might hear some cars go by. And it's just an absolute pollinator paradise in here, I tell you. Honeybees from Daylily Gardens, located here in Blacksburg, about a half a mile in the air from me. One of their hives comes over here, so we get a lot of their honeybees. There's another great golden digger in there. It's probably my favorite wasp. Really brightly colored, beautiful wasp. Just look at it all. Just pollinators everywhere, man. So now I'm going to take you to another clump of clustered mountain mint, specifically in the same garden bed, and you will see it's the same song and dance again. Sorry, we're next to my AC unit on my house now, so it's kind of loud over here, but just immediately running up on another great golden digger wasp. Whatever bee that is jet black. Do you see that? I hope the camera is capturing this. He is jet black. I've never seen that. I've never seen a bee that is solid black. I wonder if that is a bumblebee that's got some kind of morph, just a rare genetic thing, or if that's a separate species that I've just not seen yet. Yeah, bees, wasps, all families of bees, miner bees, leaf cutter bees, all families of wasps. Just an absolute party going on in here. So now I'm going to show you some rows of Sharons. Wasn't how I meant to finish that sentence, but we're gonna go over and take a look at yet another clump of clustered mountain mint, and we're going to pass across into the food forest section here. That was just my pollinator gardens, and we'll stop here real quick, see if there's anything on this tiny new clump, and there is not nearly as much as the bigger clumps, especially this one's in the because this one's in the shade. So in the front of the food forest here, and we're gonna go around. Oh, I about got hit in the face with a bee. The bee centered me up. We got more mountain mint with another army of pollinators, but this is not clustered mountain mint. Clustered mountain mint is down here, and once again, plenty of action. Show you another clump. Clustered mountain mint coming around one of my seating areas. Boom. So a lot going on in here. Look at all that, man. It's just fantastic to come out here and enjoy this, to get to see this much activity, this many bees everywhere you look. So clustered mountain mint is native to my area in South Carolina. It's native to a lot of the southeastern United States, and it is one of the just an absolute favorites of basically any of these native pollinators. This time of year, it's a solid nectar source, so it just loads up all summer long. You can see some butterflies back there again on the back side. So now we're gonna go. Here's another new, like, planted this spring little clump. It's got a little bee on it. Well, that's not a little bee, it's a big old carpenter bee again. Now we're gonna go through the food forest here and go back to some more clustered mountain mint. Going through the trails here. Need to trim that mulberry branch. And we're going to stop again specifically at the clustered mountain mint. You see I'm having to water a little bit today. We are in the middle of a massive drought following a heat wave here. We hit over 100 degrees 3 days this last week. It is currently a Sunday, and on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we were over 100. 100 and then 101 2 days. But for here in the middle of a drought is pretty brutal. But again, once again, you just have all your pollinators. Loving this clustered mountain mint. The reason I wanted to show this is because I think a lot of people, I've seen a lot of discourse online recently about the apparent lack of pollinators, and I'm gonna walk back to some more clustered mountain mint, back up through the food forest, take a different path to change it up. But I've seen a lot of discourse online about, you know, actually there's some mountain mint clustered actually with a moth. I think it's a moth, colored like one at least. There's a crazy bee. I don't know if you got to, I couldn't tell if, how zoomed in I was, but some metallic green guys. And I hear hummingbirds again. ADHD. Anyways, I've seen a lot of discourse online about how there's an apparent lack of pollinators everywhere, and pollinators here in the upstate and everywhere, they're like people. They're selective. They have their favorite foods, their favorite drinks, so to speak, with nectar, and they will search out and find whatever the best and most efficient source of what they need is. That hummingbird actually almost hit me in the face. He came behind the camera though, but they kamikaze through here because of things like this Rose of Sharon. And we just walk through a bunch of in bloom beautyberry and some Rose of Sharons, and sometimes you scare them and they do crazy things. But basically, I see a lot of discourse online about, oh, you know, I'm not seeing the pollinators this year. Where do the pollinators go? And I'll tell you where they went. If there is mountain mint, either in the wild or in somebody's garden, and it's anywhere near where you are, this is where all the pollinators are. They're not gone. They didn't die out. They have moved to their most efficient source of nectar. And this time of year, they very much prefer this mountain mint. Come around to the back side of this clump. There's some juniper hair streaks over there. I've noticed the juniper hair streaks really like this stuff. So it's important, if you're going to do a pollinator garden, to have something for, I guess you could call it, season round interest. You want something that you want something in bloom all throughout spring and summer and fall, when all your native pollinators are out and active, and you want some of their favorites. Part of gardening is figuring out, you know, what those favorites are and during different times of the year. We're going to move over to some different kinds of mountain mint, to some of the hairy mountain mint. See if I can capture that hummingbird. Maybe I got him on camera, I don't know. But you want to figure out what in your area do the pollinators want during each season, and then give them that. So I noticed through my first several years of gardening here that once we hit late June all the way through August, once the mountain mint is in bloom, that's what they want. They want mountain mint and not much else. I will say in the morning, if I'm out here at like 7:30, there's a pretty big favorability of beautyberry. I have a lot of American beautyberry. We just walked by a bunch. I have a couple Asian beautyberries, and I've noticed that in the morning time, that's a favorite. And then as the temperature rises throughout the day, the mountain mints become just far and away the most favored source of nectar for everything here. I actually am going to swing over here and show you some action on the top of this purple giant hyssop. A little bit of action over here too. But yeah, once mountain mint goes into bloom here, it's the favorite all summer long. And I spend so much time out here just soaking up all the pollinator action. I'm gonna go back over here, back to the pollinator beds. Some of my kids' scooters. And we'll finish right here. What's fun about this is I'll have guests over and I'll do tours, and people will just get enamored just standing here and staring and watching. And a lot of what I'll explain, there's that solid jet black bee again. I guess that is some form of bee, some species. Have to chat GPT that later. But I spend a lot of time standing here with guests, and people just stare and watch and enjoy seeing the pollinators so much. What's interesting about the world we live in is there's nothing I could tell you that you can't just find on the internet in terms of facts about this plant. But what ChatGPT and Google Gemini and just Google in general cannot tell you is what I'm showing you right now, which is just how valuable this plant is to your local ecology. So if you're on the fence about it and you're thinking about, like, you know, how can I support my local wildlife, or maybe like, should I add this to my garden? This video is just intended to show you just how valuable this is, just how much enjoyment you can get out of just planting mountain mint.